Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this week's edition of the OCRL Race Report. I'm Jeff Baki Jr. alongside my co-host, Scott Ickes and Jason Gaines. How you fellas doing this evening?
Doing good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, Scott, Mr. Excitement. We need to give you a new name, my friend. You sure do know how to mix it up out there on the track. You raised a lot of feathers yesterday in the nationwide race. Kind of a little sarcasm, a little heat under the helmet. We're going to talk about that later on this evening. Just keep that in the back of your mind, though. We have tonight in the studio with us is Corey Bunch, the winner of the 5-Hour Energy 200, and we're going to welcome him in right now. This is going to be your second win of the season, Corey, and great job. I applaud you. You've never done this before in any sort of touring series in the OCRL, so right now you guys seem like as a team you guys are ahead of everybody else, being the first team to pull back-to-back, not back-to-back wins, but more than one win this season.
Yeah, this only difference is that the Dover win, it's like we earn it. Like, Daytona, anyone can win that race. You just got to be at the right place at the right time. But Dover, it just, actually took pit strategy and, just a good car to pull it off. And we're just lucky it came our way. So just real proud of everybody.
Now, while we have everybody here together, I think a topic that needs to be discussed thoroughly, usually the administrators would do this, being that this is a show that most everybody on the OCRL.com is going to watch at some point in time this week. I'd like to bring up the discussion of cautions. The OCRL has taken a lot of heat over the incidents in Dover, and not just Dover. It's going on in small, minor problems throughout the season, and even last season a little bit. Are cautions being called at the right time? Are they not being called when they're supposed to? So on and so forth. The OCRL management team has scheduled a meeting to try to revise some rules. They just recently said, you know what, we're going to put this on hold. We're going to throw it out to the fans a little bit and see what they come up with. And a little bit based off of what comes out of this show is also they're going to take a look into that. So we're going to have a discussion on it, make it a little bit easier for everybody who needs to know the positives and the negatives of it. And let's start right now. We're going to go down the totem pole here. Scott, I need positives for, I'll start. Positives for the in-game cautions and call your own cautions. I'll start with the positives. For in-game cautions, you've got, there's no confusion. Someone spins out, the caution's out, everything's good to go, and it's pretty much, you lay back, you get the breaks that are kind of nice to have. Call your own caution. It's great to have the freedom of being able to do it yourself. It prevents a lot of the lag issues that can come in-game cautions, and it just gives everybody that more realistic feel that we're all trying to seek here. And we're going to move on to you, Scott.
Well, I think I personally like the call your own cautions more than the in-game cautions. For one, on the starts and the restarts of races, you are controlling your car more than the computer controlling your car. So, depending on the gear package that you have, you can go ahead and do the necessary needs to not spin your tires. And with the computer, sometimes you have that high gear and you'll just spin your tires. So that's probably one of the bigger deals that I like to call your own cautions.
Okay, and you're positive for in-game cautions?
In-game cautions, I mean, there's definitely no confusion. You're already, once somebody spins out, there's caution waving. So, it's a simpler way to do stuff. Right as you go, there's caution, and you do get a break. So, those are the positives in your game.
Okay, and Jason, your take on all of this?
As far as the in-games caution go, not a whole lot of positives that I see about it. I mean, it causes lag sometimes, and it can mess you up if you go in the pits just the right way, it can cause you to hit someone coming off a pit road, which is not your fault. But the good thing about it, I guess, would have to be, if someone spins, it's automatically a caution, no questions asked. Nobody has to, go to the whole, what's going on? Do we have caution? Do we not have caution? I mean, it takes all the confusion totally out of the equation, and that would be the one positive that I would say would make a good case for bringing the end games back.
And Corey, last night you said to one of the people from the media that it wasn't an awful race, but it was a bad race. And that gives you a say in this. Where do you stand as far as in-game call your own cautions?
For the call your own cautions, I mean, it's from what I came to realize. I mean, it's still a work in progress because how it was handled from last night's race, it was just very poorly because nobody was knowing what was going on, and there would be some points if a car was spinning out and they wouldn't know if they was off the track or not, and just all that type of stuff that they should already know. And I mean, just in my positive for the call your own cautions, you be able to have more time to think about your strategy, like what to do and before you hit the pits and everything like that, and then you have more time to think about the restart. And for the any positives for the in-game cautions, I can't think of one on top of my head. I've just never been a big fan of them. But if I were to put a positive in there, I'd just say it just resets everything by itself. Just to go lucky dog and get everyone in order and everything like that. Just that kind of stuff.
Okay, so Scott, your final verdict on if you were the guy in charge, sitting back, would you throw in the towel, in-game cautions, no strings attached, or would you sit down with your crew this week and try to figure out a clean, straight, cut, dry method to call your own cautions?
Definitely, we got to go over the rules to call your own cautions. I definitely don't want to go back to in-game. But if I'm picking between in-game and call your own cautions, I'm definitely going with call your own cautions.
And Jason?
Yeah, I would have to say, personally, I would like to stay with call your own cautions, but it definitely needs to be improved, and I think that a personnel change may be the answer for how they're being dealt with. It may not be. It may just be the fact that what I notice is when certain people spin, I feel like it should be somewhat their responsibility to let everybody else know. It's like, hey, look, I spun off a 2. I'm on the back stretch. I'm down out of the groove, But when I seen people spin, I never heard nothing from them. And when I spin out, I try to say, all right, look, I'm paused. I'm up high. I'm out of the groove, or let everybody know that I got it back going at least, so they don't throw an unnecessary caution. But I do think that it may help to have just one person doing the cautions and try doing 2, because I think that kind of, when you have more than one person doing it, that's, I think, where the little scuffles are coming in between people. Oh, you didn't call it. Well, you didn't call it. So I think one person needs to step up and do that.
Okay, now, Corey, it seemed like based on what you had said in your comments that you would agree to try to give call your own caution another chance. Briefly go over what changes that should be considered among this, or what needs to be improved, as Jason just did elaborate on.
Basically, Jason just took the words out of my mouth. That's what I was about to say. Personnel change. It could make a difference in a good way, but I just they'd have to figure something out on for people to not abuse it. Just spin out on purpose just because they're last of the lead lap pack or something like that, and they need to catch back up. I know that's sometimes happens, but it's just they're going to kind of take a careful look on it, and I can't really think of anything other that they can change up other than maybe personnel, but it's just they just got to be more aware. You know what I'm saying? Just got to be more aware of it with where everybody's at and everything, and for the drivers to communicate to to communicate also to let everyone let them know where they're at, where they stand, and just all that good stuff.
Okay, so it seems by the four people we have on the panel this evening, and I agree as well, that the call your own caution needs to be reconsidered. It needs to be broken down into plain black and white ink that everybody can understand. No cursive, just straight out where it's easy for everybody to read. And it seems like all four of us had that same thing in mind. So I guess if anybody in the booth who's listening on this is what you got to consider is what we're saying. You got car owners, you got drivers, contenders, everybody here talking about this. So it'd be a good thing to consider. And again, Corey, congratulations on that big win and Tuesday night. Did you have anything else that you wanted to say about that win? I'm sure there's a lot of people you may have went back to the motor coach last night and said, "Man, I didn't thank them, or I left this out. Here's your chance."
Oh yeah, I just gotta thank the good Lord upstairs. I mean, I thought honestly that Daytona was gonna be my only win, and I mean, I guess he's got more in store for me, and also got to thank Little Caesars because we wouldn't have this high quality equipment that we have right now. What for them with all they did, and we haven't disappointed them. Just giving them great runs and everything, and but most of all, I just got to thank King Crossover Motorsports for just their hard work and dedication and everything to just I can't express it enough. I'm just so glad that this team is now getting the recognition they deserve from all they've been through for the past seasons and everything. And I'm just glad just to help out in any way I can.
Yeah, definitely becoming a championship contender. You guys have been moving up in the points consistently, week in and week out, battling for wins. You guys were there last week in Phoenix. Like as I'd mentioned, you were right there battling in the midst of everything, and it's good to see you guys get there. And it's funny to look, not really funny, I'm sure for Scott, but it's interesting to see how on one end of the spectrum you got guys that are on your team winning his second race of the year. You won your second race of the season, and then look at Scott where he's kind of dipping back in points a little bit. He's having a lot of issues, and it's two total different deals going on over there. And that's the same thing that's happened to our team a little bit. When we started out in the season, we were all right there in competition, and the past several races amongst all three series, it's kind of broken down. You got one car that's been really, really good. You've had one that's just been okay, and then you've had another that's completely fallen off the face. That's at least how it's been for Junior Motorsports the past three races for our team. And this week we've sat down and we've made some personnel changes behind the scenes just to try to see if we can't fix up the teams that are slacking behind. Of course, Jason's guys leading the points. We're not making any adjustments there, but as far as Jesus' team goes, there's a lot more personnel changes going on there than there is mine. So definitely some things, Scott. Have you as a team owner thought about any changes going on to help maybe your team alone out?
We're gonna try a couple things here this week and get ready for the truck race and try those changes out a little bit. And if they're a good move, then we're going to stick with them. If not, we'll just try to stick it out the rest of the season. It's never easy your first season as a car owner, so we'll just have to battle through it. But I know that we can do it.
And we're running out of time. I'd just like to mention real quick, Ask Anders made its debut this past Monday night. It's a very interesting show. Steve Anders, who's been on the Race Report several times, he's a great host to it. And Scott, you've been playing a part of that, and it seems like it's going to be a big hit. That's Monday. Every Monday, it's recorded Sunday evenings. It's good to have around. Tune into them on Mondays for anything. You can submit questions on the OCRL.com Facebook page. or the OCRL.com in general. And we're just about out of time, and looking at the week ahead, this Sunday night, or this Thursday, the Cannon Pro Series heads to O'Reilly Raceway Park. This Sunday, the Camping World Truck Series is in Dover, and I forget where the Nationwide Series goes next Tuesday. Anybody know off the top of their head? Chicagoland.
Yeah.
Chicagoland, yes, for the STP 300. And on behalf of everyone here on the Race Report, we've got to thank Corey Bunch for coming in this evening, talking about his win and elaborating on the caution deal a little bit. This has been a great discussion to talk about getting things out there and try to clear them up for everybody. Hopefully it'll help everybody on the website and all the fans tuning in. And on behalf of everyone here at the OCR Race Report, I'm Jeff Baki Jr.
And I'm Scott Ickes.
And I'm Jason Gaines.
We'll see you guys next week from Chicago.